Hello out there, I'm the Oldest Nerd, and as promised, we have a review on the first two episodes of Season 5 of Discovery. They dropped two episodes, so it was a marathon watch for me, and the plot, the recap, the names of all the characters all kind of run together. We know that Saru continues in his romance and marriage is suggested. We know that Booker is on some kind of community service thing to serve a sentence. And we have Saru and Burnham still running Discovery. And they're at some kind of reception for the Millennium celebration of the Federation, which is a few decades off because they couldn't celebrate it during the burn. So lots of details. We bring Tilly back, we bring everybody back, and we add a couple of new characters, one of which is Captain Raymer. And Captain Raymer is a kind of a war captain. He's someone who has had several medals, who doesn't think much of them, and he's had a lot of experience in combat and things like this, but he also has a mind of his own. He is a Kellerum. That was first introduced in Deep Space Nine, and he has an attitude about him, and I like him already. Just the first contact that we've had with him, I like his personality. It's rather of a I don't care what anybody thinks, I know what's right kind of thing to do. And he clashes with Burnham, which is interesting. It makes an interesting dynamic. We also have our bad guys this time who go by Mal and Locke. Locke, we don't know what his race is. Mal is human. And together they're kind of lovers and adventurers and independent traders, kind of like Book was. And they're going after the same thing that Burnham has been led to go get from Starfleet. It deals with the progenitors that were originally introduced in Star Trek The Next Generation. This is the one where Picard follows a group of clues to discover that there was a race that planted all the humanoid species across the known galaxy. And so the people on Earth, the Klingons, everybody's were based on one species and the creation of this one species. And that's kind of an explanation in universe of why there's so many humanoid-type aliens. Nevertheless, they build on this here in that the people who discovered it, along with Picard, it was made top secret 800 years ago, along with Picard, who discovered their secret, also was a Romulan. And the Romulan was able to make a great deal of research on this, wrote a diary, and had it saved on an old Romulan freighter, which has been located, and the Federation wants those notes to know what it was that the progenitors were able to do. And it, almost kind of like the Genesis device. Everybody wants it because it can create life, or it can destroy life, or it can mess things up. Also, it has kind of a feel of the key to time. If you're ever a fourth Doctor Who watcher, an entire season was devoted to finding different pieces that went together that was the key to time. And so this is very similar to that in that it's kind of the key to life. So there's a lot of things in the way. We have Mal and Locke, who are also looking for this same thing. They are first to the Romulan freighter, and then Discovery tries to catch up to it, and they get away. And it seems like they're always one jump ahead, and there's more description of who they are by the second episode. They introduce an android, someone who was probably built after the time of Alton Sung. They introduce in one of the trades that's trying to go on. They show isolinear isolinear chips, which are used a lot in The Next Generation, and self-sealing stem bolts, which were mentioned in an episode of Deep Space Nine. So there's some little Easter eggs there for those of us who are looking for them. Saru is offered a job as a Federation ambassador. He's still trying to decide whether to take that on or not, and that also gives some question as to who Burnham might pick for her next first officer, and that, as so far goes undealt with until near the end of the second episode. Then what do we have? The special effects are just incredible. We see a desert planet which looks like a real desert, not just a room full of rocks. We see a forested planet which looks very lush, better than I've seen before in this. For the first time, we see a warp field from the outside rather than the inside like we always do, and that shows ships in warp going through normal space in a warp bubble, and it's an interesting special effect that they do there. They also play around with their holograms and things like that, and their programmable matter and all of the stuff that they have in the 32nd century. A lot of Dr. Kovich featured, which is always an interesting character. They have a device that is shaped like an infinity sign and has a marble that rolls through it or something. And when you hold it, it puts you into what they call the infinity room. And it is not far from the cone of silence from Get Smart days. A lot of borrowed ideas have gone into these episodes, and I kind of like the overall feel. Everything is in a run. I mean, I don't think anybody sits down and discusses anything. I would say it is mostly action-adventure as to what we see in both of these episodes. A little bit of time is spent on Burnham trying to figure out what her relationship with Booker should be or should have been, and also just some little funny moments. We have Tilly back, and she's always good for some somewhat comic relief, and we have just the interaction of all these characters again that keep it interesting. And good to see the spore jump. I always like to see that. So there's a lot to be seen, and so much that is done in both of these episodes. It's difficult to really describe it all in a single review. And I'm not going to break this into several reviews. I just say that you need to watch the show and see what you think about it. It's basically a cross between The Key to Time and the Maltese Falcon, and it is a puzzle. It's a search. It's a chase. It is a clash of personalities in the making, and I think they're going to have a whole lot of fun with it. I think we'll have a whole lot of fun watching it. I'd like to know what you think about this. Please put it in the comments below, and we will try and make some sense of all of this as it moves along. This is their last season, and so they're making it big. They didn't know it was their last season until they had already filmed most of it and went back to film extra scenes for the last episode so they would be able to bring it to a close. But it is a very action-intensive, puzzle-solving, mystery-solving chase with an adversary. I think that it kind of bundles together a number of good action, adventure, mystery stories that we've seen before, but they do it in a very cinematic way, and so far I'm enjoying it. I hope you will let me know what you think by putting some comments below. And of course, if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do. And we will follow this. And of course, next month we will have Doctor Who coming back, and we'll be covering that as well. And so there's a lot to be talking about this summer, and I hope you'll be along with us. And until then, don't go far.